With Succos fast approaching and the new year having just begun, I'd like to share with you a little vort, a short vort that I heard a few years ago, precisely in Tovshin Nun Ches from Rabbi He said like this: Yechiel in Sefer Lev David. Apparently, it's known that the first 6 prokim are taken from the Kisav Yad that he found belonging to the Shloah Kodesh. The Shloah over there says on Koheles, which we're Be'ez Hashem going to read this coming Sukkos, on the pasuk Tov Achris Davar Mereshiso, the Achris of something, the end of something is good, Mereshiso, if one put in one's effort at the beginning. And he explains this using another pasuk in Koheles Perek Beis, where it says Chacham Einov Beresho V'Aksil B'Choshech Holech. A Chacham, a wise person, Einov Beresho, his eyes are in his head. V'Aksil, and someone who is foolish, B'Choshech Holech, he walks in the darkness. And the Kedah asked the question that this is not it's not what an opposite of the beginning. The beginning says that a Chacham has his eyes in his head, so it should say that a fool has his eyes elsewhere, but it doesn't. It says a fool walks in the darkness. How do these two things go with each other? Where is one the opposite of the other? And he explains like this: Chacham Einov Barosha doesn't only mean that he has his eyes in his head, but Einov Barosha, his eyes are always at the beginning. Barosh, at the beginning of every project, he has his eyes there set out with a view to see how he's going to fulfill that project. And since he has his eyes at the beginning, then he's successful. However, Ksil, someone who's foolish, doesn't have his eye in at the beginning of a project, doesn't have his eye in at the beginning of the year or the beginning of anything new. Rather, he wakes up once it's already too late, and by that time he stumbles and he walks as if a person walking in the darkness because he hasn't prepared himself. Yechiel explains this very same theme in Parshat Bereshis, where he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the Nachash, Hu Yishuv Chorosh, regarding Adam Harishon and mankind, Hu Yishuv Chorosh, he'll be able to trample upon your head, but you will be able, you the Nachash will be able to bite him at the heel. Meaning to say that if a human being, if us Kalisol, Yishuv Chorosh, we're able to trample on the Nachash by getting our eye in at the beginning, by being at the Rosh, by being prepared at the beginning of every project, the beginning of every year, then we'll be able to overpower the Nachash. However, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells the Yetzer Hara, if he's not able to get his eye in at the beginning, and rather you get in at the beginning, then you will be able to have him from his head till his okev, until his heel. And that's the message of the Chidah in all these in these 3 different psukim. Tov Achris Davar Mereshiso, the end of the year is good provided one has one's eye in at the beginning. Chacham Einov Barosha, Chacham has his eye at the beginning of every project, he has his eye at the beginning of every year, and Mitzvah Hashem, we should see that by the end of this year we'll have had a successful year. It will be Tov Achris Davar, a year full of successes, and we'll look back and realize it's because we got our eye in at the beginning.